Hello everyone, my name's Liz. So, in a poll conducted by USA Today in 2006, the results showed that 65% of executives viewed introversion as a barrier to leadership. I feel like when most people in our society think of a leader, we think of someone who is assertive, outgoing, who can take charge and be noticed. But would it surprise you that some of the most successful entrepreneurs today, such as Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and Elon Musk, all consider themselves introverts? So I want to persuade people that introverts make great leaders. Introverts make great leaders because they possess humility, they are deep thinkers, and they are very thorough. We live in a society where there's this extrovert ideal that is drilled into so many aspects of our lives from childhood, and it causes a lot of misconception. And it's important to break down those barriers so we can have leaders of every type of person. And I live the experience of an introverted person, and that has, in this world, that has made me feel like I'm not good at leading and I'm not supposed to do that. While I've also watched so many other people in the same shoes keeping themselves in this comfort zone when we're capable of so much more. So I have done all this research so I can understand the personality type of introverts and the qualities they possess to be such great leaders. Firstly, introverts make great leaders because they are more often humble people compared to extroverts. On the Harvard Business Review website, in the article The Hidden Advantages of Quiet Bosses, Alex Hoffman talks about how the introverted brain's reward system is wired to more likely respond to quality work and productivity rather than professional advancement and praise, which really helps the growth of a group and a team. And something that comes with humility is being more open to the idea of others, which is so crucial in the success of leading a team. Introverts often let others express their ideas rather than trying to take the spotlight themselves. And the Harvard Business Review did a field study questionnaire at 130 pizza delivery franchises, and the managers were asked to rate their level of extroversion, while the employees were asked to estimate how often they and their colleagues try to bring about improved procedures. The results showed that the stores with lower rates of proactive employees was associated with higher rates of extroverted leadership. Another trait that comes with humility is being more self-reflective and self-aware. So introverts are more likely to acknowledge their mistakes, imperfections, and limitations. And if someone doesn't acknowledge their mistakes, it will make it so much harder to be successful in the world of business. So through introverts' self-reflection and self-awareness comes deep thinking, which brings me to my next point. In Susan Cain's book, Quiet, she talks about what deep thinkers introverts make with others, or what deep connections introverts make with others, and what good listeners they are. And people often have this perception that introverts avoid connection, but it's really just that the connection has to be much deeper and more meaningful. And this is so important in building one-on-one relationships with employees or teammates. In Cain's book, she also talks about the research that was done that found out that introverts are less likely to make snap decisions, which is probably because they think more on things before acting or making a decision. And as a leader, it's very important to think of decisions to make the right ones. And next is my last point, that introverts make great leaders for their thoroughness. In an article by the Florida International University's Center for Leadership Research called The Introverted Leader, which they were examining introverted leader examining the role of personality and environment is the name of the article. And Candace Adamick talks about introverts don't rush as much and they're more patient. And a study at Harvard University done by Randy Buckner in 2012 found that introverts typically have thicker gray matter in the prefrontal cortex, and this is the part of the brain that's responsible for abstract thinking and decision making. And introverts are very focused and not easily distracted. And while extroverts gain energy from the outside world, introverts gain energy from within. So they're good at tuning out the world around them and focusing on the task in front of them. So their ability to focus helps, working with their team members and instead of being distracted by outside tasks. And introverts are very observant. They are more likely to be more aware of the emotional cues and sensory details around them. And research has shown that introverts experience more blood flow to the frontal lobes and thalamus, which are areas that deal with internal processing and attention. To close this all, I want to emphasize that any type of person can make a great leader, whether an introvert or extrovert. We need leaders of all kinds to balance the world out. We just have to end this misconception that introverts don't make good leaders. And I hope I have persuaded you today on this idea. Introverts make great leaders for their humility, their deep thinking, their thoroughness, and so much more. Whether I changed your mind or not, I would like to know others' thoughts on this and what you think about introverts as leaders. If you feel like you're more of an introvert and you've never seen yourself in the leader role because you don't want to be in the spotlight, you need to put yourself out of that comfort zone and know that you are capable of being a great leader. So don't let those stereotypes stop you. Being a leader shouldn't be about being in charge. Also, it's about bringing people together to make a successful team. Thank you.